Welcome everybody to another episode of Behind the Name. I'm your boy Boo Dilla.
And your boy Prince J. Ron.
And we at episode 82. Episode 82, man. I'm proud, bro. I'm proud of us, bro. This episode 82, bro. We almost at that milestone at 100. You know what I'm saying? We almost at that milestone. But we got a special guest tonight, you know what I'm saying? A living legend, you know what I'm saying, in the making, you know what I mean? We got a TOG representative, you know what I'm saying? We got my boy Mouse. What's going on with you, Brody?
Bro, we got unmute Mouse.
Oh yeah, I thought it must have did that once we logged out. There we go.
I'm good now.
There we go.
How y'all doing, man?
Hey man, good man. Yeah, how you feeling, man?
I'm all right. I just got off work, so I'm a little tired, but I'm good.
Okay. Hey, well, we want to thank you for taking the time to get on this show, man, because we've been wanting to hear your story. A lot of people been seeing you in the circle doing your thing, killing. But now we want to get to the roots. You know what I'm saying? We want to go to your beginnings before TOG, before all of that. What was your upbringings, and when was the first time you saw and got introduced to the culture?
My upbringings, really, I've been dancing since I was about, I'll say 10, 11. But I was doing like the Crank That Soldier Boy and the Crank That Batman. I started on that way. That was my way. Yeah, that was my way. Me, DJ Tay, a few of my other guys, we used to do that stuff real heavy. And then I saw DJ Nate on YouTube. This is when he was releasing the tracks and the video of him footworking at the same time. So when I saw that and I heard I think it was the Halloween track, I just got up and started trying to do it. I'm like, I could do this. Like, come on now. I could at least try. And man, after that, it just took off. Like, I started getting all the homies around me just started footworking after that. But it really started with like DJ Nate videos and like old Bishop videos, stuff like that. I was real deep in YouTube. So just that was really where it really like started when I first kicked my first real leg.
Dang, that's crazy. Yeah. Like just hearing it, you know what I'm saying? Like just hearing your beginnings, because every generation, you know, it's an important part to the whole tree. And right. Where you came in at was around the era of YouTube, you know, like the beginning parts of YouTube. And at that time, YouTube was like just fresh. So people was just now like recording small videos. It wasn't even edited. It was just a small video. But
to feel like grown up there.
Yeah, to hear like, man, that was my first time seeing like, what?
Yeah, DJ Nate started it all.
So from there, from watching the YouTube videos, then was it like anybody else doing it in the neighborhood or where you grew up at, or no? It was just
actually my neighbor. He stayed right next door to me. His name was Carl. He's not really like known in the culture, but he was one of those like party footworkers. He had a pretty big basement, and he had some loudspeakers, so I could always hear the tracks from my house because the house was like this close. So yeah, he had the speakers going, and I hear it in my room. Like, man, who is that playing that? DJ PJ and all of this. Like, I didn't understand it, but I started hanging out with him and started going to his house more. And I started learning how to dance. And then I met DJ CeeLo. And and he started teaching me how to dance. He taught me like the real fundamentals, the real basics of footwork, like the real basics. I learned from CeeLo. And after that, maybe about I'll say a few months of that, he was like, "Yo, I think we could use you in DMP." Now, after that,
What was DMP?
No Love DMP. That was DA's group.
Okay. Just for the cause I had to want to make sure for those that, because a lot of people don't know all the acronyms of all the groups.
Yeah, No Love DMP. That was my first group. So he took me to try out.
DA.
Yeah, he took me to try out, and I was actually a lot better than I thought I was. So there was actually levels to DMP. There was No Love, and then you had No Love DMP. So basically, the beginners were No Love, and the more advanced dancers were No Love DMP. I think maybe my first 2 weeks in the group, I became No Love DMP, and it kind of like, yeah, I kind of got into the group already knowing basics and knowing how to battle and knowing how to at least get out there and do something that made sense. So I think it was about 2 weeks. You had to try out for DMP, No Love DMP, and I tried out. I battled the whole group. And yeah, I made it in No Love DMP. So yeah, DA started teaching me. I was learning from CeeLo still. But then I met another guy. His name is Michi. He was from Taliban. I met him on the other side of Harvey on Green Street. We used to walk over there and like just kick it and stuff. And I started dancing with him. And he basically took me under his wing, me and a few of the guys, me and my boys Zay and Chris. He took us under his wing. He was like, "Man, I think y'all might be ready for TOG." He always knew like I liked this style a lot. Like a lot of people don't know Michi. It's a lot of old Taliban members that a lot of people don't know, and he was just one of those members that's really just a legend to me. But
you gotta be in the street. You gotta be in the streets to know him because he ain't at no events.
Right.
A lot of foot workers. Just a side note for those. A lot of foot workers didn't go to parties. They didn't go to events. They didn't even perform. They were just amazingly gifted, but they just danced on the block and locally in their neighborhood. They never. So people outside of their 5-block radius probably would have never even known or saw them, because once again, a lot of people didn't record themselves at this time. So that wasn't really popular. So you had to see it or come in their neighborhood to see them, or you would just hear, stories of them.
But it was a lot of gang members.
Yeah.
Those was like one of the ones that wasn't going to parties. Like they wasn't going to parties because they had, a lot going on. And they used to be cold because they had cold. They had their own style, like, you know what I'm saying? They had their own styles. Like, you know what I mean? Like, and they was like a diamond in the rough. I remember back then it was like a diamond in the rough, man.
It almost remind me like how when people is around, they kind of like pick up other stuff. Yeah. But when somebody don't be around, it's like they hibernating, so they only stuck with their own creative ideas. So it's like a time chamber. So when you see them, they be like, "Dang, I ain't see nobody dance like that." And they're like, "Cause I ain't around."
That's exactly how it was.
Hey Mouse, was you in TOG and when you was going to BGs? You wasn't with them, was you yet?
You mean BGs on 87th?
Yeah.
Yep, I was TOG around that time. Yeah, that's when I like first got in.
Right, because I remember like seeing you. I remember seeing you dance, and I was like you was like super like unorthodox, like you know what I'm saying? Like it was like it was there, but you just had to connect the dots though. Like, you know what
Right,
I'm saying? I was seeing it, you know what I mean? And I remember sliding people inside, like, who is that? Like, you know what I'm saying? And you know, they telling me who you were, and I was just like, he just needs to like start connecting. Like
yeah,
once he
that
started,
was the rough
he
draft.
go, yeah, and he
That was
go
a rough draft.
cold. I was
Wait,
like,
wait, wait, wait. Don't wait, but don't go into TOG yet, because we still in no love.
we said no, okay, that's
Yeah, we still in no love. So I was about to say, so at the time while you was in no love, that's when Michi was like, I think you guys ready for TO, you know what I'm saying, TOG. But
Right.
when you was in no love, were you battling or were you performing at the time? Or you were still training?
A little bit of everything, but the thing about DMP, we really didn't go out that much. So we was doing like Robin's Parade, stuff like that, and a lot of like street battling. Like we'll have people come to the practice because a lot of people knew DA. Like I felt like everybody knew DA.
Oh no, yeah,
So,
that's my twin right there.
yeah, one day we'll see.
That's my havoc brother for life.
Yeah, one day we'll see Sonic. One day we'll see Curtis. One day we'll see man, everybody used to come over there. It's like everybody knew him. So we kind of got to battle with a little bit of everybody. But it was more like street, like you said. It wasn't really like Walla Cam or none of that. But yeah, pretty much everything because I was still training with DA and CeeLo too at the time.
Mm, that's
So
dope. So okay, so all right, so at that time, so then that's when Michi was like, they saw your potential, was like, hey, you know, I think y'all may be ready for TOG. Now,
right.
at the time, what would you know, because that's one of those things when you in a group and you get approached, you know what I'm saying, with another opportunity, like
Right.
what kind of goes through your mind with that type of pressure of should I not? What was you thinking about when you heard that?
Honestly, because I knew Michi the same amount of time that I knew CeeLo. But CeeLo kind of got to me first. So I was kind of bouncing back and forth between seeing both of them. But the way I felt about it, I felt like I always wanted to be Taliban anyway. So I wasn't DMP that long. It was maybe 2 months, maybe 3 months. So it wasn't that long, and I kind of already had my mind set on where I wanted to be. So it was kind of like, yeah, there was a loyalty thing there, but a lot of my friends wanted to be TOG Taliban too. Mm-hmm. So it was like, man, if I was basically the first one to take the leap and say, I think I'm gonna just take the tryout. And then a few of the other guys, you know, they came, they was like, all right, we'll try out too. So basically around that time we were doing, I mean, the people I grew up with were who I was in the groups with. So basically we all wanted to do what each other wanted to do. So we all wanted to be TOG. That was the plan. So we all just went with it. And yeah, I mean, it was a little bit of pressure behind it. I definitely didn't want to leave CeeLo like that, but I mean, I knew where I wanted to be.
right.
And a lot of people, and that's I'm happy you hit on that too, because you know when people are learning Chicago footwork, one of the things that pop up is getting in the crew or having a home, and sometimes certain places is there for a certain season. It's like you're trying to find what's good, what works, but that's how it be. Like sometimes everybody gonna see your potential when you get cold, but then you don't want the people that be like, we made him,
Right. I felt like my potential at the time was way higher with TOG Taliban than it was No Love. So I felt where I wanted to be was where I should be, and that was TOG Taliban at the time.
Right. Dang.
So you got Go ahead.
No, go ahead, boo.
So you became TOG. You know what I'm saying? Uh, what was the how was the trials though? Like how you know what I mean? Like how was that? Like though. Continue.
Actually getting in the group.
Getting in the group, yeah.
Okay, so I'm gonna take it back to Carl's basement because Carl knew Michi.
Okay.
Michi was, I think he was cousin. I think Manny was his cousin or something. I forgot what it was, but they hung out a lot. So he was like, "Man, I'm gonna just get Manny over here, and y'all just gonna try out, then, just like that, and we gonna see what Manny think." So literally, Michi just brought him over one day out of nowhere, and it was like we saw a rock star. Like it wasn't real. It was like he really brought Manny, and it was crazy. I'm not gonna lie, it was crazy. It was Manny in the flesh. So it was like you seeing like a famous celebrity for the first time. So I was starstruck. But he was like, "Yeah, y'all, I heard y'all went to trial." He was like, "Yeah, we gonna try it out. You know what I'm saying? We gonna battle." So we danced for probably like 35, 45 minutes. And he was like, "Yeah, y'all made it. Y'all in the gang. Y'all got it. Y'all got it." So he set up practices, and then I started practicing with Curtis, Manny. This was when Rashad first got in too. So I was seeing him a lot. Skinny Rashad. I was seeing him a lot. This when Jalen and DJ and all of them started coming along, so I was seeing them too. It was pretty decent. It was pretty decent. It felt like home for the most part. Like home.
So being in there, you got a chance to one, you get a chance to be in a whole nother perspective because I know how my brother Manny is. So
Yeah.
I know how my brother DA, both of them my brothers. So I know how DA is. So I already got an idea of no love. But then I know how Manny is, as far as the Taliban Havoc days. So I know it was probably a difference, what I'm saying, as far as the way stuff was running, like practicing wise, especially on the work tip.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
So I was about to say, well, I was going to ask, what was some of the differences that that you saw as far that helped you in your evolution with the training?
As far as that, I would say Taliban TOG basically took me to another level. The practices were a lot different. I'm not gonna lie about that. No love, we practiced, we did routines, we did all that. But I felt like the way Curtis and Manny used to teach me, and like the talks and just the potential they saw. Like they had me doing I remember one time Curtis made me dance to the same track for one whole practice. Like I think it was just a practice that me and him was there. And he cut on, I don't know which track it was, but he was trying to get me to start dancing on beat. He was like, "Man, you be all over the place,
Yeah.
We got to get you on beat." He's like, "I'm gonna play the same track for 2 hours. I want you to dance on beat to this track." The first hour, I couldn't do it. I couldn't. It was a track I didn't like. I was complaining, asking for him to change it.
Yeah.
It was hard. It was hard, but the second hour it came through. I did better. He told me I just got to keep working on it, and that's when I started kind of dancing to not just footwork, Lady Gaga and just the stuff with the consistent, the clap. I was trying to get the clap, and after I got that, it took off. But man, I had some practices. I went home and I just felt like I didn't even want to go to school tomorrow. They would have us dancing from the start to the beginning. Well, from the start to the end. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was definitely a huge difference after that. I mean, had to really work Really work. You had to really work to be in that group. So, man, yeah, it was definitely harder, but it was worth it. It paid off.
Then them diamonds right there. And I know definitely, and I knew you was gonna say. I knew he was gonna say a few of them, so you definitely hit one that I already know about. So I was like, yeah, definitely is one of those where getting the chance to make you appreciate the music. Yeah. And so being able to understand that it's not really about what you want. You know what I'm saying? Like a lot of people cry about, oh, I want to hear this song. Oh, I want to hear. No. It's about relaxing, listen to what's being played at the moment. You know what I'm saying? Like this song, as long as you can be on beat and connect to this song, then you can be able to listen to any song and connect. You know, you don't never want to have that weakness of you only can dance to one song. Right. You know, the song that you like, everybody else don't like that song. Every DJ ain't gonna play that. And
he knew I was gonna complain too.
Ready.
He knew I was gonna complain. I feel like that's why he cut it on. Yeah, it definitely helped. I actually ended up liking the track afterwards. I was like, yeah, I actually let me get that. You know, I could laugh to that. You know, it took a while, but it grew on me. I forgot what it was, but it grew on me.
Man, that right there, to learn that you know what I'm saying, to learn that as you did, that's one thing most footworkers still need to acquire that skill. You know what I'm saying?
Definitely.
Many others, you know, dedication, staying consistent. So when you first got into TOG, I already know the practice was hectic, you know what I'm saying, as far as hard work, definitely. You know, polishing up, making stuff clean. Mm-hmm. That have that foundation on point, and on beat. At this time, with your transition, so at this time, was you still forming your getting in the grips of creating your own style, or at this time you were still just learning? Like, did you already have a style when you came into the group, or was you still kind of like in that I'm trying to discover who I am?
I was still learning who I was. When I first got in the group, like I was doing a lot of what I learned from Manny and Curtis. So people would say, oh yeah, we know where you got that from. We know who taught you that. You look just like him. I got that a lot, but I wasn't trying to get that, and I didn't like it. Like it was cool for a little bit, like people, oh yeah, you dancing like Manny, you dancing like Curtis. I'm like, yeah, because I'm TOG. Like that's what I'm getting taught. But I still wanted my own style. I was still learning, so I was trying to mix it up, mix what they teach me, you know, mix this left to right with this Curtis move. I was trying to implement what they were teaching me and kind of make my own. But yeah, around that time I was still learning. I had no style at all. I was literally like raw as possible. Like I was very, very raw. But they took me in and they definitely taught me fast. Like I said, they saw the potential early. So yeah, they taught me fast. Like the first maybe 5 to 6 practices was just learning, like straight learning, no battling, just straight learning from both of them. So that's pretty much what it was. I was still trying to learn myself.
So I just want to highlight that diamond that you just said. So at this time, you were already talented, and you know, and already surpassing most when you was in DP. When you tried to audition for and did the tryouts for, you know, No Love, you was able to just go past the training part and go straight to the higher, you know what I'm saying, level in there. Right. And then someone saw your potential and was like, yo, we got to get you in TOG. And then you got in TOG. And even with all of that, you still was on a mission of learning yourself. So that was a diamond right there, because no matter if people was saying, oh, you cold, hey, you cold, you deserve this spot, or you cold, you deserve to be in this group, inside you still knew like, all right, I'm not gonna stay, you know what I'm saying, like stagnant. I'm gonna still keep pushing myself because I know it's higher I could go. And that right there is a big diamond on. You always want to develop and develop your skills to another level.
Definitely. It's like when you're around the best, a lot of people compare you to them. When you're in the group with the best and you're getting taught by the best, a lot of people gonna say, yeah, you love Manny, you love Curtis, you love this, you love that. I mean, like I say, it was cool for a little bit, but it was like I wanted to be myself. I always wanted to be myself. So I wanted to get to the point where I could beat them, where I could beat Curtis or beat Manny or beat Timo or beat Rashad. I didn't want to be compared to them. Like I wanted to be as good or better. So yeah, I was definitely still learning myself. I was basically thrown in the fire getting taught by them, but at the same time I always knew myself deep down in me that I wanted to be my own person.
Facts. Hey, so what happened next? Like what happened next on your journey to get you, you know what I'm saying? What steps did you start taking to like when you start noticing like, man, all right, I'm forming my style now. Like okay. When did you start noticing that?
This was probably when I started getting around Jalen, Lupe, who else? DJ, Jalen brother. Man, there's so many people to name, but mainly those few. We basically started labbing a lot together. Like Jalen and his brother became TOG, a few other people. So we all kind of just started like meshing and just mixing it up, just trying to come up what we could come up with. MB was around. Man, there's so many people.
Hit us, boy.
Yeah.
D, Dan, all of them.
Right. So I really got around them and we just started mixing everything up. We really stayed in the lab. Like those were the days like I was labbing to like I couldn't even feel my feet. Getting holes in the bottom of my shoes, dancing in the garage every day. Literally coming home from school, going right to Jalen's auntie house in Riverdale. We really started mixing it up and just coming up with a lot of stuff. And I feel like that's where I kind of really learned like my foundation, like what I really wanted to do and how I really wanted to do it. Like being around Jalen and his brother and Lupe, and because I started learning from them too. So it wasn't just me being taught by the big dogs in TOG, and I was getting taught by the people that was, in my realm, like in my area. When I couldn't go learn from Manny or Curtis or go see them, I could see Jalen and Lupe and any of them, and we'll all just get in the lab, like nonstop. We used to lab nonstop.
Them practices right there. Like
yeah.
Just
sun
like
up to sundown, for real.
Sun up to sundown. And guess and the training paid off.
Oh yeah, definitely.
And it paid off.
Oh yeah, definitely. For all of us, not just me. We all, have some type of mark on each other. Somehow, some way, we all can say like, oh, bro, help me with this, or bro, help me with that. Or, we'll have another group come over, or a few people from a group, and we'll say, oh man, we was smoking them, bro, help me with the energy, or, you was turning up. Like we all got something to say that helped us along the road somehow, some way. All of us, we all helped each other.
Yeah, y'all all are unique, and y'all all got different strengths, and collectively, y'all hold each other up, and, right. And that's one powerful thing to have, definitely. And definitely, like you said, after that type of training, like man, dancing to the holes in the shoe, like man, yeah. That type of training, that right there shows commitment and just passion. And with that, that's how you know what I'm saying? Knows the type of work you got to put in to find yourself, what I'm saying? To find like what, what I'm saying? Like, how far can I go? What can my body stand? How long can I dance? You never know until you do it.
Right. Yeah, I'm pretty sure we figured all that out around that time. Like, we were really pushing ourselves to limits. Like we was all going through shoes. We was all just beating up our shoes. Like, we was all just going through shoes. It was terrible because we was dancing on hard garage floor or in somebody's basement, just like destroying our shoes. So the love for footwork definitely kept us all together. Like, even if we was all sitting at dog tired, we'll still be YouTube on the screen or watching battles or talking about what we could do better or how we could do it or going to BG's that weekend. Man, we used to really like, it used to really be like love to be around them and just all be, loving the same thing. We all love to do the same thing and we all love doing it together.
Well, I know you already got tons of, tons of stuff. I was gonna say, what was one of your highlight battles in with TOG?
I will definitely say me versus AG. Yeah. AG, I still remember it to this day. He had to go first. He didn't know who I was. He had no idea. But he had to go first. And he gave me like a little it was all right round. He didn't really, he didn't know. So he was thinking like, I got this. But I probably gave him everything I had in that round I gave him after he went back. So yeah, everybody was going crazy, It was a dope round or whatever. And he came back out like destroyed it. Like made it look like it wasn't even, he just destroyed the round straight up. I mean, I don't know no other way to put it. He smoked me. He smoked me with that one round. So I went out again. I didn't have it. He won the battle, but that was really like the first battle that everybody was like, wow, like dude gave AG a round. He gave him a run for his money. So, that woke some people up.
Let me just say this. Like, first off, you in Chicago footwork, it's like you got different classes, and it's like boxing. You got different classes: lightweight, middleweight, heavyweight. So it's like most people that's coming in, and still learning who they are, wouldn't usually be ready to go against a heavyweight, But and so usually most people, especially like if it was a tournament or something, most people, if they heard their name called, they wouldn't even step out. Like, they'll like walk outside, act like they in the bathroom or never come out. Like,
this was AG. This was like AG in like one of his primes. Like AG didn't have probably like 10 different primes, but he was right in the middle of his. He was right in the middle.
You ain't never lied though.
Yeah, this one like, was right in the middle of one of his primes, and he just like, it was kind of like crazy hearing my name against him, but from me like being who I was around and like just learning from who I learned from, I felt like, yeah, this got to be the moment right here. I definitely didn't like shy away from the moment. I'm like, yeah, this is it. Right. This is it right here. I gotta show him.
See what that training paid off for.
Right. When did you start noticing that you start owning your own style? When you start creating your own style, when did you start noticing that?
Ooh, probably like when the Havoc picnics, like, I think I went to one of the Havoc picnics, and then it was like a footworkers picnic right after that. I think it was like the next weekend or the next 2 weekends or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
That's when I was really like starting to feel a groove about what I had going on. Cause it was like you said earlier, it just started connecting. It just started connecting like a lot better than the previous years. I had a little bit more experience under my belt, so I kind of felt a little bit more comfortable. So yeah, I said probably like 2014-ish, 15-ish, something in that area.
Let's go. That's definitely like, I started seeing you more in the circle. Like,
Mm-hmm.
it's one, you could kind of tell when a person, it's like when a person start really finding themselves. And that's with anything, you know what I'm saying? It could be with dance, it could be in
Right.
a music group, a rap group, whatever. Like, they start stepping, even though they're in the group, they start like standing out from the group, you know,
Right.
like holding their own. And I
Right.
started seeing you a little bit more like, not with actually like behind, you know, and behind the scene. I started seeing you more like on the front line, like ready for war. Like, dang, he like holding his own. Like, he don't need 4 people behind him. He like 4 people in one. You know what I'm saying?
He always, but that's what I'm saying. When I first started seeing him too, it was like he'd be by himself, like basically like labbing. You know what I'm saying? In a event though, at an event, like he on the side, like, you know what I'm saying, doing moves and not caring what people are saying either. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, he just going and going and going. Like, people like, man, what's that? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, they kind of hating on him a little bit. And he ain't letting it get to him though. You know what I'm saying? Like, you wasn't letting it get to you at all. You know what I mean?
I was still trying to learn myself a little bit, you know, but I was such a fan of the culture. Like, even if I wasn't dancing or you know, somebody else had a battle and I was just there to support, I still just go.
Well,
I mean, you
where
gotta
did that
love what you
confidence
do.
come? Where did that confidence come from though? Because you wasn't letting nobody. I'm talking about even starting out. Because normally, what I used to see was people that starting out. Somebody be like, "Man, that's weak as ever." Like, you know what I'm saying? They'll stop. Like damn. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
They
maybe
get discouraged.
they get very discouraged.
Mhm.
But you never, like, I never see you fold. Like, I never saw you fold. So I'm just trying to see where did that confidence come from?
I mean, I pretty much always been confident, but I mean, the guys, I mean, it really depends on who you got around you and who pushing you to get to that moment. At that point, at that time, when I was in the events, labbing and keeping to myself, I probably had them around. Well, they was probably around and we was all kicking a leg, you know, when they was behind me or we was taking turns at a wall or something like that. But for the most part, really the guys. You know, the same people I'm gonna say, Jalen, Lupe, my boy Zay, my boy Chris, DJ Tay from Tech Life, you know, Dan, AJ, like everybody, Manny, Curtis, like I still remember the days when I was getting pushed out in the circle. Like, like they like, man, niggas just go. Like, come on, man. And I look back like damn, but I'm already in the circle. So it's like, you gotta go. Once you get pushed out there,
when you get pushed out, that's when you know, like,
you gotta go. So just from that experience alone and just the confidence and the growth that I experienced year by year, month by month, like my brothers really pushed me to that point where it was like, bro, you gotta take off. Like hearing that in your ear, you know what I'm saying, in a battle or you at an event, it's like they putting they trust in you a little bit because maybe they want to take off, but they need that energy from you first. So I started getting a lot of that. And then after that, it just was like, yeah, I just started standing front line. Like it started getting from, like I said, getting pushed out to not even have to worry about who's standing on the other side. But that's literally all because of my brothers. Like I always been confident, but my brothers made me even more confident because we always went hard on each other. So I knew if I'm going hard on these dudes ain't weak. My brother's weak. You know, you feel like you can go up against anybody for real. So they pushed me probably till I didn't even want to be pushed, but they made sure I had the confidence to get out there and do my thing each time.
Like they say, iron sharpens iron. So definitely that, man, like you already inspired people in the circle, you know, just off some of the combos and your combinations. You hit on the sound line all the time, like woo, whoa.
Yeah,
like
definitely,
and then people hype, then they ready to go in, you know, like that's facts, you know what I'm saying? Like a lot of people do that, whereas just to have that support system and on top of that to have it inside yourself, you know, regardless if it's coming from an outside source, it's coming from an inside source. So that's
definitely. You gotta have some type of confidence getting out there. You got to, because even if you don't, and you got the support, you still might have it in you. Like, man, I don't know if I'm as good as they say I am. I don't know if I can get out there and really go as crazy as they think I can. I had it in me like, all right, if they think I can, I know I can. Like they were pushing me and I was pushing myself. So yeah, I mean, my brothers pushed me far.
That's an unstoppable, and I that, man, that is just too critical to have. Like we all, when anybody that got a support system behind them, like it's once you got your support system within yourself, but when you get surrounded by a support system that assists you, then it's over with. Ain't none but accomplishments after that. You're gonna see it.
And trust me, I get it. Like I understand, Mouse, like for real, like you know what I'm saying? Like you really taking off in front of the people that you've been looking up to for years. You know what I'm saying? I don't feel like, you know what I'm saying? Like I'm just now starting to get that feeling because the individual, see the difference when I started was we didn't have like people that was pulling us in, like, come on. You know what I'm saying? Back then people was like, they didn't want moves to get stolen. So they didn't even like really want to like show you anything. You know what I'm saying? So basically, and I say this in like almost all our episodes, it's like I was stealing. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like I was on the side looking, and whatever I can soak in, that's what I was doing. I was soaking in. Like, you know what I'm saying? Go back to the house. Boom. You know what I'm saying? Go back to next weekend. Same thing. Watch.
Chilling.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Or whatever. But now, for me starting to see those individuals now, though, like even though I remember, you know what I'm saying? We're in our 30s now, like for me to see that, like, damn, I used to go off. I used to admire seeing you dance. Like, you know what I'm saying? So now I'm still a fan of them individuals. You know what I'm saying? Like, regardless, I'm still a fan. You know what I'm saying? So I get it. You know what I mean? That support and people telling you, man, you can, you know what I'm saying? You can kill him, man. I ain't, you know what I'm saying? Like, and you sitting back like, man, I don't know. But then they still, man, if you don't get yourself around,
I was just about to say, yeah, the people you look up to start wanting to see you in the circle. You like, dang, I look up to you. They're like, no, I want to see you. Like,
right.
Like,
it was
I used to watch this dude on YouTube. Now he the one telling me to go dance. Like, that's crazy.
Yeah. Like, so it definitely helped. Having the guys around was definitely vital. Like the guys played probably the biggest part in who I am today in the culture, for real. If it wasn't for the guys and the group, you know, and the support, I probably wouldn't even be doing it, to be honest. They pushed me far.
Yeah, and then you was destined to do it, man. Like, This is something that you've been looking at and watching on YouTube, and you like, man, I want to take that step. You took that first initial step by even, you know what I'm saying, like going to even start. Like, you know what I'm saying? Once you start, man, it's you know,
can't stop.
That's it. That's it. And now you got people looking up to you now.
Definitely. It's still people I look up to, you know, but it's definitely a lot of people, like I say, you know, instead of me playing the back role in the circle, now it's like, you know, it's just a little tap they give me now, like, bro, just going, you know, like it's a lot simpler than it used to be. Like it's definitely because of the guys though. The guys push me far. Like we all look up to each other.
Do you have any proteges or anybody that you like get under your wing that you teaching or have taught?
Who I have taught? I taught DJ Tay from Tech Life. We kind of taught each other. He footwork when he wants to, you know, but he was definitely like one of the first people I was trying to like teach.
Dope.
Who else? Well, I could say lately, because we were teaching the classes at the firehouse. I taught Red. We had some kids in the class. We had a comedian in the class one time. I forgot his name. I think it's Hannibal. I can't really think of no proteges, but I mean, I taught basically like everybody that taught me. I feel like everybody that was teaching me when I was coming up, they wanted to learn something from me too.
Yeah.
So I feel like at the end of the day, like I said earlier, we all got a mark on each other somehow, some way. We all learn from each other pretty much. So I don't really have no proteges, but I definitely have people who I've taught like certain dribbles or a certain combo. But I wouldn't say a protege. I've definitely taught people before.
Yo, okay. I was curious about that. Your style is super unique, man. Definitely, definitely unique. I know I love watch you dance in the circle, man. Definitely be killing. Now, is there any like battles that you wanted to do that you haven't got a chance to do yet? Like anybody on your hit list?
Anybody on my hit list?
Or have you already accomplished all the battles you want right as of right now?
Anybody on the hit list? I mean, I don't really have any like specific targets that I could think of, but I would like to battle, even if it's like a circle battle or it's just like a one-on-one, it don't matter. Like I would definitely like to see Stilo in the circle. Stilo is one of like my favorite co-workers.
Hey,
that would be
favorite too. He's one of my favorite too, dog.
He was one of my favorites coming up, and I had a run-in with him at a bar. I forgot which bar it was. It's probably like 4 years ago. And we battled. Like we went back and forth, but nobody got it on camera. It was just one of those battles, you know. One of those that you had to be. Yeah, you had to be. It was definitely a battle. But I feel like if it's on camera, like it'll show off just how clean footwork really can be. Like I feel like I'm pretty clean and he's top tier clean. It'll just be a dope battle for the culture. I feel like that'll be a good battle. I feel like me and Stilo would definitely like hit it off.
Yeah.
Anybody else? I would like maybe some of the like Goon Squad kids. The newer ones, not like Yodi and J-Lo and Brandon, like they pretty much already know me. But they got more that we don't really see as much. But I would like to battle all of them. I would like to battle all of them. They got a lot of foot workers over there. Like instead of just J-Lo and the Brandons and the Cordells, like they got like some other pieces in the puzzle. And I would definitely like to see what's to them. Like I would definitely like to see like how they coming in the circle.
Yeah. Yeah, I definitely. Usually most workers got that little. They got like a list, or some people got a long list. Some people just have a person. You know, like whether it may be a teacher or some. Usually people like, yeah, it's somebody I kind of want to battle. I ain't never got a chance to really get a one-on-one with this person. So I was curious because I always see you battle almost everybody. So that's why I was like, man, I wonder if there's anybody. I'm like, man, I'm just seeing him battle a little bit of everybody. So
yeah,
man,
definitely. Yeah. I just try to get out there for the most part. I feel like for me, when I get out there now, I'm definitely like picking at who's the big dog on the other side. Like, who can I really see if they gonna hop back out if I come at them? Because some people don't. Like, you know, some people just be like, you know, give you the thumbs up and they're, hey, you did your shit. But
yeah,
I try to see if I'm gonna get that back. Like you just went, I'm coming at you. You should come back and try and see what happened next time.
get that respond back. It's like a call and response. That's what I'll do, like the call and response.
Definitely. I love to see what that person is gonna do after I go out.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. So on your journey, you done learn so much. What would be some tips that you would give to somebody else that's up and coming, or someone else that's just now in the culture and they're trying to find themselves? What would be a few tips that you would share to someone else that's following the same footsteps?
Be patient. Patience is a big thing when it comes to this culture. I feel like a lot of people don't really talk about the patience that comes behind knowing when you're ready to get out there, knowing when you're ready to battle, knowing when you can, like you say, the levels, you know, heavyweight, featherweight, you got to know your levels, you got to know your matches, you just got to know. And I feel like with that comes patience, because sometimes people get into it a little too fast. They think they better than they actually are. They might get out there and, you know, they might not feel as good as they thought they would after the battle. You know, they go back and look at the video. I'd be like, man, I could have did better. Maybe you should have been patient. You know, like patience is important. Like it took me a while to get where I am. Like this didn't take 2 years or 3 years. This took like I've been footworking for about 10 years. 10, 12 years, something like that. So it literally took time. The second thing is be loyal. Stick to who sticks with you when you felt like you was at your lowest. If they still, especially if they still around and they was helping you, stick with them. Because if you constantly switching friends and switching groups and switching your surroundings while you're trying to be the best you can be, it's gonna slow you down. You gotta stick to who got your best interest as their best interest at the same time. You know, if you want to be the best or one of the best, they should be, man, you could be one of the best. I know you can. You gotta stick with people like that. You gotta stick with people like that. You gotta be loyal in this game, because the back and forth and the group hopping. I think I want to be here. I think I want to be there, but I think I like this group, but I think I like that group.